Hello, everyone. It's time for more Slime Rancher. Let's load it up. Because I do not remember exactly what we were looking for last time in terms of, oh yeah, dash boots. I guess that makes sense. It's raining. So yeah, one thing that I feel is kind of tricky for me in particular at this sort of stage of the game is there are a couple of different things I could undertake as expansion projects, but I'm just not sure which ones to go for sometimes. Because I was half tempted to start diversifying the slime ranching part of things, so we get some other plorts besides cotton and flutter plorts from all of these slots here. So we can start getting some other slime types. But I also just want to go out and get treasure pods and things like that. Get the world collectibles while we still have a pretty manageable setup in the ranch before I start getting too crazy with expanding and having tons of corrals all over the place. So what I'm thinking is we do a smaller area like Powderfall Bluffs, and then once we've done that, once we've kind of worked our way through there, even if not completely, at least a good chunk of the way, hopefully, I'm also hoping to find a ghostly drone while I'm there, because I don't think I have any more. I don't think I have any more. Well, I do have one more drone station module. Oh. I guess I could build one more of these. Yeah, maybe we do that first. I need some money though. So hey, good enough reason as any to go out to Powderfall Bluffs. We'll explore. We'll let this all just do its usual accumulation stuff. And we'll do some exploration while this happens, and we'll get some money when we come back. I do want to grab 8 boom plorts while I'm out there, because then we'll have all the ingredients we need for the dash boots. Very handy that we have a teleporter for the Ember Valley, because this is exactly where we need to be. Let's see if I can find any other... I want to find a lot of chickens if I can. As many chickens as I can carry, really. I might as well grab these angler plorts as well. Feel like I need these for something, but I don't remember what off the top of my head. I'll just take a brief run through here, try to find any chickens and such. Oh, wow. Yeah, I think there were chickens here, but they all got absolutely devoured. Yeah, I think that all the chickens got spawned in already. We might be kind of out of luck on foraging wild chickens, but I'll still grab what I can. At least we get some angler plorts along the way. That's not too bad a deal. Ooh, the jetpack efficiency module is really coming in handy now. That feels so much better. Okay, where am I going here? Just remind myself of where I want to go. Yeah, we loop back around through here, and then we'll head up to the Powderfall Bluffs teleporter that way. I would have taken the quick portal from Rainbow Fields, but I did want to try and grab some boom plorts along the way too. I think, actually, now that I'm thinking of it, there might be... I think there are some boom slimes that spawn in the Powderfall Bluffs. But not a big deal. We're already here, so we might as well just make the most of it. I saw some boom plorts already down here, so just deal with the tar here. And we'll grab what I can. Try it. Toss some food around for them, get some more. I suppose since there are so many crystal plorts out here as well, I can grab those. Why not? So basically we'll just head out that way. That way we can go to the refinery link. Drop off what we've got and then head out to Powderfall Bluffs, because I don't want to linger too long. I do want to generally try and keep a decently streamlined track going here, because we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot that I want to get to, specifically because this isn't a game that really has too much of a time pressure or anything like that. It's mainly just I personally want to go out and get things done. So it's more so me wanting to cover a lot of ground rather than the game strictly enforcing that sort of pacing. Just to be clear. All right. Now I was contemplating whether to go out of my way to get more chickens to keep feeding the saber gordo that's out here at Powderfall Bluffs. But since the chickens that I'm trying to switch over to the rainbow hens at the ranch, and they have basically just started populating, between that and not really wanting to go too far out of my way to get more chickens along the way, I figured it'd probably make the most sense to just not worry about it too much. I figure we can run through and try and nab whatever we can, which is going to be a bit of a tough order here because everything's all spawning all at once. So it's like the chickens get thrown out and also hungry slimes get thrown out at the same time. So I'm kind of racing against the clock a little bit in that regard. But it's pretty temporary. Yeah, there are some boom slimes out here. A lot of them, actually. So yeah, if I need boom Boom plorts. This is a pretty decent spot to go for him. Let me see about getting up here. And then over that way. Jetpack efficiency module really coming in handy here. Try to find as many chickens as there are remaining, which is probably not many. Yeah, once again, we've only found the one up here. I think that's the same as last time. Well, I guess that gives us a little bit more progress. Still not quite enough, but we're getting closer. Just kind of chip away at it each time we come over here. Now, since we're here, I want to take a bit more of a systematic approach to this. We can gather some resources while we're here too. Might as well. I want to go back to the beginning. And just start exploration from where we enter and just try to look around without skipping around too much like we usually do. So I think the only reason I really did as good a job of finding the treasure pods in the other areas, despite kind of taking a slapdash approach to exploration, is because I had already found them and come across them so many times during early access. Powderfall Bluffs is still an area that I have not been in this place very frequently, even during my early access playtime. So I'm not quite as familiar with where everything is and how to get to it. But since it's a pretty small, contained area, relatively speaking, I mean, look at the size of Powderfall Bluffs, and consider the number of treasure pods being 24 versus the 35 of Ember Valley and the 33 over this incredibly expansive Starlight Strand area. So I figured it would make the most sense to start here, start a little bit smaller, and then we can work our way up to the big Starlight Strand exploration in the future. Because there's a lot of little nooks and crannies tucked away all over that place. And that's part of what makes it kind of daunting to explore, because it's such a large, widespread area, and there's a lot of little places across that large area. So it's very easy to miss things. So let's see, while we're up here, I'm thinking, ooh, hello. Another chicken to feed. So we'll start up here. I just wanted to make sure I kind of had a better look around the outside area leading up to here. Because on my way over the first time, I was just looking for chickens, basically. We found a few. Certainly not many. Give me you, and give me you. Get a little bit closer. Yep. The other thing too is I want to explore the internal cavern locations while it's daytime. And then once it's nighttime, we come outside and we grab stuff like what's down there on the sheer cliff side. So there's not really a way for us to get back out of that area without those Aurora bridges. Let me check over here real quick. I wonder if we can get over there. That might be able to... We might be able to get back over here, but I don't want to risk it. I mean, it is getting toward nighttime, so... Let's see what's in this particular cavern area here. And I'll start taking more screenshots. Let me get this one saved here. Oh yeah, I forgot. Because I've taken some screenshots of other things recently. And this is tangentially related to Slime Rancher, I suppose. You remember how I've taken a couple of screenshots of Victor's typos? Well, I finally started playing Cyberpunk 2077 recently. I have not gotten very far into it, but I'm really enjoying it. It's looking very promising so far. But within the first hour or two of me playing the game, actually, you know what? It was literally in like the introductory area. I found a typo in one of the logs that you can find in the world. So not even 10 minutes into gameplay and I had already found a typo. It's not a big deal because it's one of those things that's just kind of like world building flavor. Totally optional. But it's still so funny. I start playing it and it's like, really? I already found another typo in another game that I am playing right now. This is really, really funny to me. Yeah, the reason that came to mind is that when I was saving the screenshot, that folder where I saved the screenshot of that typo was the folder memory that came up. I just thought that was really funny. Okay, so yeah, this is just a nice little cave area. We can explore around in here. See what we've got going on. And we have some Aurora bridges nearby, so we'll be able to tell when it's a good time for us to head back outside to continue exploring. This little covered area. Oh, this is a different cavern. Okay. I don't want to go into too many different caverns. I want to do one at a time here. Let's see what we can find over here. Sounds like there's a tar outbreak somewhere. Wait. No, this is the same cavern. This is exactly what I'm talking about, where it's like I'm not super familiar with this area because I haven't spent the time exploring it nearly as much as I have with other locations that existed from the very beginning. Yeah, we already have that one. Let's see, where else could I go here? Now, there's some slime fossil resource spots up toward the ceiling that I think you're really supposed to have the Twilight Aurora bridges kind of help lead you to them to be able to get a little bit closer and harvest them a little more comfortably. But these ones you can reach just by a little bit. Ooh. And the bridges are now active. You can see how they've lead around. And would you look at that? They've even got a funny little treasure pod up here. Just take that screenshot real quick. Get that saved up. Now it's going to be really interesting getting into the oh, Powderfall Bluffs portal, nice. That's a very handy one to have. Cool. Let me check out the lower section here. So yeah, see how these bridges lead directly to the resource points here. Kind of funny that this one actually sort of gets in the way. Sometimes the collision is a little bit funky. But not a big deal. You go away. Let's keep looking around down here. See, we've passed through this area a handful of times, but we've never really come down all the way to the bottom and really just looked around. So that's the sort of thing I want to do right now while the ranch is pretty manageably unbusy. Oh, hey buddy, here. You go up here and I will take this treasure pod. He was keeping it warm for me. Add this one to the collection. Doing pretty decently on treasure pods so far. Ooh, fire flower. Very vibrant. Let's see if we got anything else going on at floor level here besides more slime fossils. Yeah, I'm not quite as familiar with these caverns, so it's gonna get a little bit... I might get a little bit lost here. But that's part of exploration. Sometimes you get a little lost. Let's see, there's this exit to the room, which is right here. I feel like there was another one, wasn't there? I want to grab these as well. Well, maybe there wasn't another. Well, actually, hold on. This one. Oh. Oh, it's a funny little drone spot. We got one of these research drones. Well, we're accessing a GG log. I can hardly believe it. Saber slimes? Everyone knows they've been extinct since some time after the Jurassic period. Could this glacier somehow have contained them and this world like a time capsule? Perhaps it was frozen at the bottom of the slime sea, and the seismic activity from Ember Valley shook it loose. I need to keep exploring. So yeah, these saber slimes have been long dormant by the sound of it. Okay, I think we're good to go out the other exit here. That's toward the bottom of the cave. Ah, here we go. There's another spot. I think this area is gonna suffer from a little bit of marker overlap in my map marking process too. I'll figure it out though. Shouldn't be a problem. Ooh, snowball machine. I think that way you should be able to get snowballs even outside of the Powderfall Bluffs snowy area that this is. Ooh. Listen to those funny little crystal sounds. Very nice. Is there anything in here that I need to be aware of? Seems like it's mainly just these guys stomping around. Ooh, hold on. I can get crystal plorts any old time. I want to get these chickens. We can potentially feed that saber Gordo some more. So it's a nice little windfall of food resources here. Ooh, I love the walking effect on the light bridges too. Very fun. I love those intense ripples. So yeah, this is the kind of spot where they really expect you to have the light bridges to walk across to get over there more safely. You could probably make it with the jetpack efficiency upgrade that we have, but it's definitely still risky, because if you do just happen to run out, there's not really much in the way of a safety net to kind of fall back on. Grab these slime fossils. We're getting a pretty good number of these. Okay, let's see. We could go right or we could go left on the map here. Let's try this way first. Get some more fossils. Okay, we've been here. What's over that way? That looks like... yeah, that goes out to ocean territory. I don't want to go to the slime sea. I don't think there's really much of a landing point out there. I don't know where the tar outbreak is happening, because that's the music for it. So we've been in this cave. Yeah, I recognize this. Ooh, hello, strange diamond. I can get rid of snowflakes. having the diamond will accelerate the process of getting teleportation technology just a little bit more. Okay, so we've been in here. But this large open cavern I probably have not explored thoroughly, so let's look around in here. Start from the upper area and work our way down. Just make sure there's nothing else up here. So we've probably passed through here. Yeah, this drop down, I think this is actually... Yeah, this leads back to the teleport. I recognize this. I recognize that drop down area. Okay. So let's see if they have any treasure pods tucked away somewhere I haven't looked yet. Nope. You stop that right now. Thank you very much. Get out of here. What? Those guys are being real aggressive today. Like, they just barely make contact with the other slimes, and that's enough to take them over. I don't see anything else down here. So I think we're good to move on. We are kind of running out of light bridge time. Let me take a look at that recipe for the Powderfall Bluffs portal. Saber and puddle plorts, we need radiant ore and slime fossils. Saber and puddle plorts. Okay. See, having all these different plort requirements is the main reason I'm contemplating expanding the diversity of the ranch. So it's like, yeah, it'd be good having some of these things, some of these resources piling up a bit more. Let's see if I can make it to that treasure pod that was on the cliff side near the Saber Gordo slime. We can also feed it these chickens while we're over there. I think we should be able to reach the treasure pod from over here and then take the Aurora Bridge back up. Oh, it's blinking. I don't trust that. I don't trust that. I do not want to fly over there and get stranded. I think we'll just stick with the Saber Gordo. I don't remember exactly what time the Aurora bridges go away. I think it's probably 6 though, and we're coming up on that basically now. Dang, still not enough. I guess I'll grab these puddle plorts while I'm here. I know I'm gonna need them, and there's a bunch of them. See, there is a chicken in here. Give me a second. I'm going to deposit the diamond right there. Wow, that stuck the landing. There you go, buddy. Unfortunately, I don't have anything else. I don't have anything else to feed you right now, buddy. I guess I'll just pick up whatever puddle plorts happen to be around. And that'll probably be a decent haul. I mean, 20 puddle plorts isn't that... That's more than what we need, right? Oh yeah, that's way more than we need. But that's good. I'd rather have more than what we need than not having enough. Let's see, how are we doing on treasure pods? We've got 6 more to find. I think I have a bit of a hunch of where some of them are going to be. Mainly because there are some areas that I just have not really been to. You know what? I think I'm gonna go for this. Because it's just right down here. We could probably find our way out, right? We can probably find our way back from here. I'm sure it'll be fine. Just take a funny little screenshot of this. Get that saved here. Cool. Very good. What do we got in here? Anything nice? Ooh, storage cell. Very nice. Yeah, tank booster. We do need saber plorts and perfect snowflakes for this. So we do need Powderfall resources for this. Can't quite reach that. I think I'd rather try and find my way out of here rather than risking aerial maneuvers to get a little bit more slime science material. Yeah, okay. The jetpack efficiency upgrade makes that a pretty safe venture. Good to know. Grab some more puddle plorts on the way out. Pretty handy. Now, where do I want to go next? I think I have to remember how we get there. I think this cavern leads in the right way. I just need to find the right exit to take. Is it this way? I think it's this way. Up here, I believe. Yes, this area we kind of skimmed over. Because I was mainly looking for the map node when we first ran through here. Ooh, these guys are violent. Look at that damage. Oh. I guess it's raining slimes. I suppose that is the thing that's happening, huh? Yeah, I was mainly focused on finding the map node when I first came through here, so I didn't really give a good look around. So we can do that now. And we don't need light bridges to do that. So this should be... Ooh, a little sketchy. Ooh, a little sketchy. Ooh, a little. Just a little bit sketchy. Gotta make sure I keep better track of my energy there. I just barely made it back. I was trying to get a good look at the cliff face there. I almost completely fell down. Let's see, is there anything else out here? I don't really see much of anything on that cliff side. It's a pretty nice little spot though. It's got this little stone circle. Couple of aurora trees. Suppose we can take a look around the cliffside this way. I don't really see much of anything out here. Seems like they kind of don't want me going out this way. At least not too far. How about we head back to the main path here? Because I went up this side. So how about I check the other side? Over here. I'm gonna fall down on purpose here. Oof, these guys are right on top of me, huh? One of the rare times I might have actually wanted to have that pulse ability. Oh, there's a treasure pod there. Okay. There's a light bridge leading to it. Good to know that it's there. Don't know when I'm going to be able to get it, but at least I know it's there. Yeah, it's right over there. I'll have to keep that in mind. Let's see. We have another GG log that I did not read before. While waiting for the drones to finish collecting their data, I built a snowman. I had seen them before in books, and since I had an extra carrot, I figured it was worth a shot. I am no sculptor, and I immediately took pity on my snowman. I was glad he couldn't talk. But then, as the hours passed, he looked even worse. It was midday, and the sun's rays were warming my cheeks. And then I realized why this place wasn't here before. And I assume that ties back to the research drone that we found in the cave, where that author postulates that the seismic activity from the Ember Valley was the reason that this place came out of wherever it was sort of in stasis. Oh, this treasure pod feels kind of sketchy. I don't know. Yeah, okay. We can land on top of it. It's fine. It's fine. We make it work. We make things happen. Let me just save this real quick while the tar music plays. Very dramatic. Let's see what's inside. What you got? Aurora pine. Nice, we can make our own funny little trees. Oh, let me see, okay. Hey buddy, how you doing? He's just kind of staring over the edge. Oh, there he goes. Bye, buddy. Brother, you did that to yourself. Is this the biblical greed? Get that man out of here. Get that man out of here. Get these boys out of here. Oh, there's a bunch of you. It's kind of tricky to aim the shots because I think the trajectory is affected by my movement direction. So if I'm moving to one side, the projectile is also going to carry that momentum. So I have to reorient my aim to account for that, which is something I was not doing. Let's keep going around this side. Because the other area I haven't really been to is just exploring that sector. Sort of over this direction, these two. We've been up here. We've been over here to these little isolated areas. We haven't really explored here. We've kind of run through. We found a treasure pod here, I think. We haven't really properly explored and gone to these places, I don't think. But that's why I've got the pictures, because if I'm wrong, then I can immediately remedy that. Ah, this place. Yeah, okay. So we have been here too. I didn't recognize it from the outside, but we have been here. Ooh, check out this funny little secret area. I wonder if this would actually be, if it would not be accessible to get through that, through this sort of, I don't know, we can't really call it greenery. That doesn't feel quite right when it's Aurora based. But I can't remember if that would become solid at the same time that the Aurora bridges become solid. Or if it would just be passed through still because it's, you know, ivy leaves. Now we wrap back around to here. Let's climb up the mountain this time instead of dropping back down like we did earlier. And see what else we've got going on up here. So yeah, here's the map node that we got when we first came through here. Oh yeah, this is here. Okay. So instead of going right, which is where we went before, just now, let's go up as much as I can. And then when the light bridges come back, maybe we head over to those, we head over to the other side of the area, to the distant spots. Because there's probably going to be some Aurora Bridge stuff going on over there. And it'll be the right time for it. Hey, here's another treasure pod. Nice, nice. That only leaves 3 more to find. And I imagine we'll probably find at least 2 over in that more distant area. So we'll see how that goes. What do we got in here? Ooh, golden shore shot module. Very nice. Probably not something I'm going to emphasize going out of my way for anytime soon, but definitely nice to have it. It's one less thing I have to go look for in the future. Let's see. The light bridge is solid. Hard to tell. I think I'm good to start heading over this way anyway. Make sure I'm fully zoomed in. All right, let's see if there's any other random treasure pods I can spot while I'm on my way out here. See anything? So we'll just head out and start exploring, I think. Let's start from here. And then we'll do a loop around. I heard something shiny. I wonder if that was just the tail end of a golden slime. Oh, Yogi slime, no! I'm grabbing them. Okay. Because we're getting diamonds. We're getting diamonds, but Yogi slimes are not something you can just get from a quantum drone. So I want to grab that. I will gladly sacrifice a diamond for that. Ooh, sunsap too. I'm being put in a difficult position here. We don't need carrots for anything, right? The only Gordos we have left are Meat Eater and a Nectar Eater. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of the carrots. All 50 of them. Because I would rather have the sun sap. I'll just get this all out of my inventory. Get back. Get back here, buddy. Alright, let's grab this sun sap. Please and thank you. Yeah, setting up a drone out here for sun sap would also be very nice. Speaking of setting things up, I really should be getting back to the ranch pretty soon. We've been away from the ranch for a couple of in-game days at this point. So their feeders are probably getting kind of empty and the collector's getting kind of full. Would probably be a good idea for me to head back there. Let's see, since we've got the light bridges here, let's go explore this real quick. Ooh, hey, ghostly drone? Hello? Hold on. Hi. Thank you. Awesome, now we can make another drone. That would give us 5 total once we built them all. All the ones that we have accessible to us. Let me just go mark that on my map real quick. I have a separate map for marking where I find these guys. So I would like to keep track of that. So let me get the pin. That was right here. There we go. Okay. All right, got that marked. Awesome. Now let's keep exploring. See what we can find out here. Yeah, this kind of area. See, this resource node is really only realistically accessible with the light bridge. Same with this one, and it also leads to a treasure pod. Let me zoom in. So I can take a good screenshot of this. So that just leaves 2 more treasure pods in the whole area. Ooh, some Aurora flowers to go with the Aurora pine. Nice. Okay, so since we found that one pretty low down, I'm thinking if we wanted to find another one, we probably want to go up. So let's make our way further above. And that's the sound of another tar outbreak. It is pretty crazy how often those things happen. That's why having the water tank can be a pretty nice safety measure to have available to you. Look at this view. Get to see this whole sort of partial ice encapsulation dome that it had. Very fun. Very cool to look at. I think I'm just about full on slime fossils. I think this will be the last one I can actually carry anything from. Yep. I am completely full up now. That'll be good though. So we need a bunch of them for something. I can't remember exactly what it was. Oh, we actually have enough money for the dash boots upgrade now if I wanted to get that right now. I want to save up for the drones though, because they provide excellent value. As much as the dash boots would be nice. Well, no treasure pods up here. At least none that I'm seeing immediately. Let me go around the side a bit more, maybe. Over this way. No, that's a pathway up. Okay. That is fair. Is there anything else for me to find here is the question. Because I don't know if it's just the one treasure pod that's over here. We did find a ghostly drone too. I'd say that's a pretty decent amount of value from this area. So we got treasure pod there. Let me just kind of do a quick fly around of the whole area from outside. See if there's anything out here toward the slime sea that I might be missing. Doesn't seem like it, but I might as well check. Just to be certain. Let's head up here. I already checked over on that side while I was flying around the upper area, so I think we're good to head back. We are still missing a couple of treasure pods, but I'm not gonna worry too much about finding them right away. We can take a quick look around here in this wooded area though. Looks like I mentioned earlier, this is also a spot I haven't really explored per se. Oh gosh, the frame rate is so smooth right now. I think there's not quite as many slimes hopping around. That's probably what it is. Just keep an ear out. Now that the treasure pods make noise, I do have to also remember to keep listening. Just in case we happen to hear any as we're passing through. I've already been up there. Anything out this way? I don't see anything. We got this one. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry too much about going out of my way to try and find them. Find all of them right now. Because that's part of the reason I'm doing the post-stream map marking, is so that when it does come down to just a handful of the treasure pods that we haven't found, I'll have a sort of general idea of where I've already found all the other treasure pods, and I can kind of attempt to infer most likely locations for the remaining ones based on that knowledge. That's the plan anyway. It's certainly not a foolproof plan by any means. But at the very least, it can give me a list of more likely suspects. So I'm not just completely flying blind. I might even be able to get a full set of puddle plorts right now. Figure we make one last stop up here just to see what sort of meat foods we can grab. Oh wow, that's a lot of puddle plorts. Look at how many there are. That's crazy. There's a lot of them up here. Let me drop the sunsap right there, because we've got a rooster here that we can feed to you. We have another chicken we can feed to you. Is there anything else around that hasn't already been absolutely devoured? I don't think there are. I don't see any other ones, at least. Okay. Well, let's take all of this and head back to the ranch, because we've been away for at least, what, 2 in-game days now? The place is probably in need of some maintenance by now. I'll just try and keep a loose eye out for any other treasure pods that I may have missed along the way. Not really thinking I'll actually see any, but might as well keep an eye out. You never know. Don't see anything around here. Yeah, okay, we'll head back. Let's head on back home. Get these things deposited. Do a little bit of upkeep. Oh, some sort of funny little weather is happening. What are we looking at? Wind. Yep, that sounded like wind music. I'm starting to learn to recognize them. So we've got high wind. That on its own, I don't think means much of anything. But if we had multiple weather effects going on simultaneously, that would definitely get my attention. So I think it's wind. It's high winds plus high thunderstorm. I think that's the combination that gives us tornadoes or twisters. Oh yeah, the angry cave. Cool. Where I had my very brief treasure pod gaslighting crash out last time. I had to go back in my footage and make sure that I hadn't just somehow missed an incredibly obviously placed treasure pod. Let's get all of this good stuff in that refinery. Yeah, these guys are completely out of food. The auto feeders are completely empty. All right, Yoki Slime. I'm gonna put you in slot 1 so we don't have it split. Okay, let me get food first. Because they don't have any, and they need something. Can't be leaving them with nothing here. So let's grab what we can. Let's start with 20 for each of you. Then we'll start grabbing what's down here. So it looks like it's actively rotting. I need to get these before they reach that point. That they are completely unusable. We'll get you up to 30, we'll get you up to 20. So they all have at least 20. That specific one has 30. We can take some out of there for an more even setup. Let's see if we do 25. We do 24. We can do 2 extra here. So then they'll be... These 2 are at 24, those 2 are at 25. Okay. Feeding finished. Now let's deal with all the plorts. I'm going to be selling all of them because we need a bunch of money. And I mean a bunch of money. So we've got upgrades to purchase. One of which we can actually get right now. And it will help because we are running around here. Okay. I want to pin the quantum drone station. Cool. And I want to test something here. My pinned recipe seems to be disappearing sometimes. I'm not entirely sure when or why it happens, so I'm trying to pay more attention to it and see if that's something that I can replicate. So let's see. When I marked all as seen before, I feel like that potentially did something, but when I had this tab highlighted, it didn't do anything. So let me try not having it pinned. No, that's still fine. I don't know what caused it to happen sometimes. I'm just trying to keep an eye on it. Just in case I can tell what might be going on with it. It might be something that's totally reasonable and I'm just not paying quite enough direct attention to it to realize what's happening. Oh, you know, the other thing I need to check on is... Yeah, drones are fine. The drones are fine on fuel. No problems there. grab these. And then when I head to the back to check on the slimes I have over by the chickens, I'll drop off the Yogi slime while we're there. The Yogi slime is kind of a unique case when it comes to ranching methods. It's sort of similar to the puddle slimes in a way. I think they're the closest analog in terms of how you actually care for them. Because they don't consume foods like most of the other slime types do. They just kind of, they generate their value by existing in the appropriate environment. Where puddle slimes need to be in some sort of body of water, the Yogi slimes like to be in a coop with chickens. And every so often while they're in there, there will be this giant egg that shows up in the coop. And busting that open will give you the Yogi slime's plorts. And also, I think it gives you some more, it gives you more chicks of the same chicken type that exist in the coop. So it not only provides plort value, but it also provides chicken value. The only thing that's kind of a bummer about it is that you do have to actively smash open the egg like you would one of the pots out in the open world. So it's not something that can really be auto-collected, at least not without the potential help of a drone. That's one thing I'll want to test pretty specifically, is what the rancher drones can do. The drones in ranching mode, I should say, what they can do with Yogi slimes. Because that would be incredibly helpful to have automated. Just get all of these sold off, and we have enough for the quantum drone station. So let's make it happen. Quantum drone station number 4, I think. And we still have enough resources for the rest. Just need more money, which is really no surprise. I got a new harvest of food here. Might as well grab it and distribute. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. To bring it up to speed with these. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. We'll do some quick re-emptying because I know it took me a little bit to fully properly empty them out. See if there's any other plorts to grab. We'll start tossing flutter plorts in the refinery again. We can do the same with these cotton plorts. Okay, let's see what Pronto Mart has. You have beach ball. I think I've bought the beach ball. Let me check. If it's in here, yes. I have seen it. I'm pretty sure I have it down in the basement. Let me check. Yeah, okay. So yeah, I've got the Soulmate, Beach Ball, and Nightlight. You know what? Actually, I'm gonna open up a want to open up a notepad here just so I can keep track of that too. I can keep track of which toys I've already acquired. So we've gotten the beach ball for pink slimes. We've gotten the night light for phosphor slimes. And we got the soul mate, which was for the tangle slime, right? Because photosynthesis. Yes. Who love a good reference to photosynthesis. Exactly. Let's see. Resources. Mark all as seen. That's still there. Blueprints. Mark all as seen. No, it's still there. I don't know what caused the recipes to disappear a couple different times. Or rather, the pinned recipe. Oh well. While we're here at this part of the ranch, let's check on the comm station, because we've got a bunch of messages. Oh, hello. I must tell you, I saw this item and it just screamed Beatrix. And that's how I realized I'd accidentally hit it with the sentience ray. But don't worry, everything is fine and very normal now. Anyway, I thought you should have it. Enjoy. Cool, thanks, sentient portal. I guess he has a way of reversing sentience, which, not sure how I feel about that one. But I won't say no to a red return home portal. It would be very handy. Always nice to have another teleporter to work with. Hola, Beatrix. It's good to see you. I do hope you've been taking care of yourself out there. Taking time to fill your belly before every new descent into the unknown. Also, I understand that the plot has thickened like a good sauce, and you've encountered some kind of monolithic structure out there on the far end of the island? Scary stuff. But then, maybe my hunch is correct that all the strange flora out there is not natural. Something just doesn't add up here, Beatrix. All the ruins we've discovered across the far, far range have never looked as though they have harmed the environment in any way. Sure, we don't know their purpose or who built them, but the feeling I always had was that they had respect for this world. But maybe it happened anyway. Sometimes when you're out hiking, you step over a flower so as not to crush it, only to step on another. Sometimes the only way for those flowers to keep on growing is for you to have never been near them in the first place. But it's not all doom and gloom. Rainbow Island still seems to be thriving, for now. Nature can find a balance, but it's not a guarantee. Ah, look at me getting preachy on you. Lo siento, Beatrix. I won't keep you. I don't know what you'll find beyond those walls, but I trust your boots in any garden. I know you'll do what's right. Good luck, Beatrix. Thank you, buddy. Very nice to hear from you. Hey there, Bee. I wanted to give you something nice, so I tried making you cookies, but, baking ain't exactly my area of expertise. Hobson said they were so edible. Anyway, I bought you something instead. Hope you like it. Oh, pretty tree. Thank you. Special delivery. Have a great chickens. Cool, Bob. Thanks for the rocks. Very cool. I know that if nobody else got me, I know Bob got me. Because Bob rocks. Wait. Bob rocks? Is he the Bob Ross of rocks? The plot thickens. Yeah, looks like all has been fine back here. Just do a little bit of upkeep. We will put the Yoki slime in here. Enjoy your new home, buddy. You got plenty of company in there. Alright, let's deposit these into the refinery link. Yeah, see, we got crystal plorts at home. I don't need to be grabbing the ones out in the field. Oh, the boom plorts are back here too, right? See, I had completely forgotten that I had these guys specifically back here. I'm out here gathering boom plorts out in the open wild areas. Totally unnecessary. I've got them right in my backyard. Right, let's see. Yeah, well, the only thing we're missing again is money. So how are my drones doing on fuel charge? It might be good to... Oh yeah, we have another one I want to set up too. Let's see, let's grab plorts along the way. We'll go refuel this, and I want to set up the next drone. I want to set it up for gathering up the moondew nectar on the Starlight Strand, so that we can start working toward getting that Flutter Gordo handled and fed. Because I think it's blocking access to at least one treasure pod. Hey buddy, how's it going? You're doing good work out here. I do appreciate you. Out here making it happen. I've actually specifically come out here to feed him some of these wonderful plorts that the local slimes have been so kind as to provide for us. I'm not gonna worry about grabbing every single one of them here. Just want to take a brief look around, grab what I can. Oh, yeah, I did not even know that golden slime was there until he ran into the wall and disappeared. Oh well, not a big deal. You guys want food? Come out to where the food exists. The food's out here. Food's out here, you sillies. Come here. Come here, buddy. You might find something over there, you might find something down here. You're not gonna find food in a cave. Not in this cave, anyway. Gather a little bit more. Just make sure that this thing is gonna be good for a while. Alright, let's see. How much energy does this one have? 129. Let's feed it all of these plorts. I do wish they had programmed the speed up, the depositing speed up on this one. Yeah, now it's just 218. Pretty good. See, I'm thinking we go to the midday tree. And we set up our moondew nectar collector there. Well, I don't need to set it up specifically there. I don't know the nuances of drone behavior. Like, are they more effective? Are they more effective in an area with more of the specific resource I'm asking them to gather? Or is the rate of acquisition kind of fixed, just based on what the resource is? I suppose that's something I could test. It's definitely a testable thing. Just set up one of them in an area where there's very few nectar collection points, and then set a different one up in a place and just let that run for a certain amount of time, and then do the same thing in a place that has a lot of spots to collect it. I think I'm actually gonna set it up around here, 'cause this area's got a lot of plorts going on. Oh, speaking of Moondew Nectar, just grab some right there. I'm thinking right here would be good. This seems like a pretty decent spot for it. Let's see, can you get some? I don't see it on the list here, so we must not be close enough to a spot. Let me put that away, and maybe we try over here instead. Right up here. Wherever it lets me actually put it down. This'll work. How about now? There we go. Start program. And I'll run around, try and get as many plorts as I can pick up, with as little interference from the tar as I can manage. These guys are really bad. Let's see what we've got going on down here. Try to grab these plorts, which not only helps me in terms of having things to fuel the drones with, but it also minimizes the chances of this happening. Fewer plorts on the ground means fewer chances for slimes to accidentally start a tar outbreak. Goodness knows that's a real problem. Especially in areas like this where there's just a bunch of different slime types hanging around. Okay, let me take what I've got here. Go deposit these. And I think that'll probably be all right in terms of fuel. How much you got? 188%. Yeah, that's pretty good. We have a couple more floats I can pick up here. Add those in. Yeah, nice. That works pretty well. I don't gotta worry about it too much now. And since we're out here anyway, might as well do a little exploring. See what we can find in terms of treasure pods. Especially now that I have the jetpack with the efficiency upgrade. So I can do some more effective aerial scouting. Go over here. Oh, was rotted. See, I don't think I've been down here. Yeah, treasure pod right here. And so the screenshots continue. This one needs to go in Starlight Strand. Alright, let's see what's in this one. Ooh, spring pad. That's pretty nice. It is one that I've actually made use of before. In Ember Valley, I think I mentioned there was one spot. There was one spot in particular where I was like, I usually like using the spring pad to get some verticality here. Nice. Might as well toss these plorts in here. I guess I could run around in here too and just try and find... Just try and check the Moondew Nectar spots. For what it's worth, since we're here pretty early into their growth cycle. Can't quite grab that one. Try and grab as many of them as I can before they fall from their growth spots. So that just means fewer of them that I have to have drones gather before I can make use of them. You need to stop, sir. Grab this one. Try and grab plorts while I'm here too, just to get even more fuel on the drone. So why not? See, there's another area over here with some more spots. I see one still over here. Grab that. Grab this treasure pod too while I'm here. To get that saved there. Cool. What do we got in here? Ooh, tank liner. That's for the preserving resources when you die by a certain percentage. Rid of those guys, and then I want to go... Well, since it's daytime now, I don't think we're gonna find much more of the Moondew Nectar. Oh yeah, I forgot this guy was under here. He's another meat eater, but I forgot this Gordo was here. Well, now I've remembered. We have yet another meat eater. We are gonna need a lot of chickens for all the Gordos we have left. So we got the Saber Gordo, and now we've got this Angler Gordo as well. I don't think we have any other Gordos right now. Yeah. Definitely a lot of chickens going to be necessary. Let's see what we got in here. Ooh, mushroom planter. Very pleasant. Well, this Gordo comes with a perfect food source directly next to them, which is convenient. Let's see, is there anything? Oh, it's not great going out that way. Let's not do that. Well, I guess we could go from above to check the outside. I need to go over this way to get to the geyser. That'll help take us back up to the cliffside. Whee! Can also go up here, where there's a little bit more puddle slime area. I don't know why, but something about the way that this treasure pod is kind of nestled into those roots there. This looks very cool to me. Because it just feels a little more interesting than how most of the treasure pods are just kind of tucked away in a corner. This one actually feels a little more decorative in its enclosure. Golden flutter statue. Very nice. Let's see if there was anything else around here. Yeah, there's a lot of area in the Starlight Strand I have not really even scratched the surface of. Yeah, I don't think there's going to be anything up here. This is kind of off the beaten path in a way that they didn't really specifically design for. That's just kind of a place you can go. I don't think there's anything else out here. I think that's mainly an alternative entrance to that cave, yeah. Okay. We'll head back over to the drone then. I did grab several pieces of moondew nectar so we can feed that to the Flutter Gordo while we're over there. Huh. Interesting little spot to not really have anything going on. There's really just nothing over there? Huh. Interesting. I'll take these. Thank you very much. Take some of these. And then I'll head back over toward the... Oh, I can't pick those up, hold on. I need to get some room in my inventory here to make that happen. 325%. Yeah, we're gonna be in good shape for this one. I don't think I need to feed it any more stuff. Because once I have enough moondew nectar to feed this Gordo, I'm immediately going to relocate that drone. And I think relocation means that it also resets the amount of energy that it has. So no reason to go too crazy with it. Oh, never mind. It only takes 6 nectar, so we're done. I guess I'm just gonna immediately relocate this thing because I do not want to deal with nectar. It is very cumbersome. Yeah, I'm just going to pick this guy up. So, oh well. We got a couple of treasure pods. Coming out here was totally fine. Let's nest right there. Perfect. Okay. Let's go see what is down here. Can grab some slime science resources while we're out here. I know we need a bunch of radiant ore. The switch here that opens this gateway. So now we can come down here from outside. We don't have to go up to that. We don't have to go up to that hole to get in here now. We can just head through here instead if we want to. It's a little more convenient. And before I go down to the bottom, just want to explore a little bit up here. I don't think I'm supposed to see that. I don't think I'm supposed to see that. Hold on. I mean, I think the ceiling is solid here, so I don't think I can get through there. But oh boy, I can definitely see into the void here. Yeah, that's a solid ceiling for sure. Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to be able to see that. I mean, I guess it's a good thing that they fixed up the... that they fixed that collision to be something that you can't get out of bounds with by accident. Also, we've got another one of these areas here, like the one we found in the Ember Valley. See, this used to, in the early access, this just terminated in a rock wall. And it was basically just a dead end. But now there's a purpose to it. So let's see, we've got 2 treasure pods down here. So let's get them marked. These aren't directly on top of each other like the ones in Ember Valley. So I should be able to make 2 distinct markers for them. But I'll figure that out when the time comes. First, let's see what we got. A strange diamond. Yeah. So yeah, each one of these gives a diamond for our consideration. And then I assume... what was the other one? Was the other one an area blueprint? Like an area teleporter blueprint? Or was that a 2-way teleporter blueprint? I can't remember. Let's find out. Yes, okay. So these areas, they did keep their respective portals next to... and I can understand why they did that actually, because I am gonna jump ahead a tiny bit here. Those gateways, they do lead to a new area So I imagine having the portals and a diamond to start working toward the blueprints for those teleporters. Wait. When did this get unpinned? Hold on. Weird. I just noticed that the thing got unpinned. I need to look back at the footage and see when exactly that recipe unpinned, because I can't remember if I just didn't pin it again after making the drone station, which totally could be the case and I just wasn't paying enough attention, or if something else is going on. So I just need to consult the footage, which I will also do on my own time. But we've got a new log here, so let's read this. The breach is so much smaller now. It fills me with hope. I remember when I first found it, I just walked right into the labyrinth and began exploring its endless gray halls, not even understanding what was really happening. But it's not so easy this time. Whatever I do, I need to shut the door tight behind me. I can't let it all happen again after coming this far. So whoever this person is, it sounds like something catastrophic happened and they went back in time to try and fix it? Question mark? So it seems like we might have a touch of time travel involved in this, which is always fun. Oh, nice treasure pod. Some of these treasure pods I guess I've muscle memory remember where they are, like that one. Because I definitely did not come over this way thinking, yes, there's a treasure pod here, I'm going to go get it. It's just like, oh, I want to explore over here. Oh, there's a treasure pod. Nice. Radiant ore, I want to stop by and grab that, because I need a bunch of it. Well, since I'm not using the quantum drone to gather Mundu nectar, since we've already fulfilled that purpose, I think the next thing I would want to set up is probably sun sap, because that's also a pretty rare spawning resource, somewhat akin to the strange diamonds. So I think I'd like to have a regular supply of that coming in. So we will have to make another trip to the Powderfall Bluffs real quick to set that up. What is this area? Is this another strange diamond spawn, maybe? Seems like maybe it's a resource spawning area. Kind of tucked away enough that it seems like maybe a diamond could spawn there, potentially. But I don't have to worry about that anymore. Quantum drones have saved me from having to redo a lot of running back and forth and just hoping for the best when it comes to resource gathering. Oh, plort door. Only opens from the other side, though. I don't remember how that links together. Maybe down at the tide pool area? Maybe. Oh, actually, hold on. Never mind. I think we just found it. Give me a moment to go get a flutter plort from somewhere. I know there were a bunch of flutter slimes down here. You guys are fruit eaters. Well, one of you is a veggie eater. I could get this. Grab one of these guys. Let's see. Feed you. Then you get the phosphor plort so that you hybridize. And then we feed you a fruit so that we can get a flutter plort. Nice. Boy, I tells you, Largo engineering is very, very useful sometimes. Just being able to get flutter plorts without having to rely on their incredibly specific dietary requirement. Super handy. Incredibly handy. Trying to do flutter slime ranching without that, without the option of creating Largos with them. Whew, I do not even want to think about trying to keep up their food source, because it's just not convenient in basically any way. Quantum drones kind of help, but even then you still have to come out here to refuel the drone. So even if you're not making constant trips out here to pick up the Moondew nectar by hand, you are still having to come out here sometimes, granted less frequently, but sometimes, just to keep the drone going. Let's pop that door open. Head inside. Ooh. It's a very pretty room. Love these reflections. Very nice lighting. I wonder what this treasure pod contains. Because yeah, I do not remember, like, I'll remember most of the locations of treasure pods, but I will not remember their specific contents, basically ever. Oh, another golden sure shot module, okay. It'll come in handy someday. Yeah, let's head over to this tide pool area once I've checked the connecting pathway. Over here, yeah, okay. So yeah, this tide pool area, this part of it existed in early access right off the bat. This initial tide pool area leading up to here. This big open area existed before. But this addition to the tide pools from this little peninsula all the way over there, that did not exist at first. That was added in pretty late into the early access. Thankfully, it's not a huge endeavor going over there. It's just a little extra addition to this map, similar to how Rainbow Fields had this little section added on, where it's not incredibly consequential, but worth keeping an eye out, because there is some stuff over there. Ooh, power chip, nice. Certainly will not argue with that. Yes, I can grab this resource here. Just grab stuff while I'm around here. I've got the extra inventory slots for it. I can always toss out what I don't need. If there's anything else that would be a better option. Let's grab that. See what else we've got going on over here. Yeah, this is an area I think I've only been to maybe twice since it was added into the game. So I'm not super familiar with it, but I don't think there's a whole lot to get lost. There's not a whole lot of getting lost potential here. It's a pretty straightforward area. Ooh, another diamond. Yes, please, and thank you. Why not? Grab another screenshot here. That brings us up to 20. So we're only missing 13 more. And I know where a good chunk of them are, or where there's another good chunk to find. Ooh, stunt cannon. Oh, and another diamond. These must be manual placements, huh? That definitely does not feel like a random spawn. Something tells me those are probably planted there on purpose. But I certainly won't complain. At this point, having more diamonds is just only a good thing. Once we have all the teleporters and things like that constructed, we'll probably find the diamonds to be generally less valuable. But until that point, I will certainly welcome any and all diamonds that we locate. Because that's basically just extra. It's just an extra guarantee that we will have as many as we need for building our teleportation-based gadgets. Couldn't remember if there was anything on this ledge, so I figured I would take a look. You can certainly climb up pretty high on the area geometry here. Whether there's anything to actually find, when you get up this far outside of the standard play area, you're probably not going to find much, but it's kind of fun. Just to summit everything and then soar around with this crazy vantage point. Because boy, you can see a lot from up here. You can just survey a lot of area, especially the more open an area is. I think Ember Valley is pretty good for that too. because there's a lot of open spaces amidst the more mountainous regions. Head over here. Grab some radiant ore. So we need a bunch of that. There's a tree out there. Oh yeah, that's part of this area. Okay. Kind of crazy how close it is, considering how, like, the ways that you access these two areas could not be any further away from each other. In this area, you have to go all the way to the opposite end of the Starlight Strand to even reach it. Whereas the other area is basically at the very beginning of the Starlight Strand. Very interesting. Also a nice little setup here with the statue and the pinwheels. Very fun. I don't think there's anything else out here. I think that one treasure pod is the main appeal of coming out here. And the diamonds, of course. Provided that those are static placements that they've put in there as an exploration reward. And weren't just super lucky random spawns that happen to both end up in the same place, which doesn't seem super likely. At least from my experience of searching for diamonds. I don't think I've ever seen more than one in that close proximity to each other. So yeah, they usually have pretty specific spawn locations. We need a rock plort. Were there rock slimes around here? I feel like there maybe was. Trying to remember if there's a good spot for that. Up here, can I summit this? Not quite. You need to go. Give me some room, buddy. Try this again. There we go. I would like to come over here and make sure there's nothing on this little pillar. I don't see anything though. Nope. Just a pillar. Now let's go get a rock plort and then come back here. We've got an inventory slot for it. Let's see, I'm thinking I want to get a little bit more high ground so I can look for treasure pods again. Yep, there's one. Gotta wait for my energy to come back though. There we go. There's another one. Let's add it to the scrapbook here. What do we got? Ooh, another one of the colored trees. Cool. And hey, what's that? A rock plort on the ground, just waiting for me to pick it up? Perfect. I certainly will not turn my nose up at such convenience. Okay, door open. In we go. Grab some more radiant ore. Let's see here. I think this is another spot that was a dead end. And wouldn't you know it, it still is. But it's got some radiant ore. So it's not a total bust. See, this is what those areas that now have the labyrinth entrance gates. This is what they used to look like, basically. They were just these rock wall dead ends. Kind of makes me wonder if they'll potentially add new stuff in these areas at a later point. It's possible. The original Slime Rancher had multiple new areas added in post-launch. I think the way they handled them was having the new areas be their own separate. You teleport to them, and they're kind of separate from the main game sort of thing. They were isolated instances rather than being contiguous with the main world design in terms of accessibility. But considering how they've been adding on to the actual main overworld areas navigation with this game, I wouldn't put it past them to be potentially adding some new area extensions that aren't teleportation only. I could see them adding new areas in a more organic way, because they've been setting a precedent for it. I need hunter plorts. Where can I get me some hunter plorts? All I see are rock plorts. I don't have any vegetables to feed you. I need a vegetable. All we have are fruits. Let me see if I can go locate. Oh, well. Never mind, we've got hunter plorts right out here. We just grab one and go. Knocking out these plort doors. Getting all these nice and opened up. I suppose it makes navigation easier if I ever need to go through these particular passageways for any reason. I know there's a treasure pod up here. This is one I vividly remember, based on the surrounding area of design. And that leaves us with just 10 more to find in the Starlight Strand. We're making pretty good progress with these things. Ooh, dainty teacup. I think we have another teacup, don't we? Oh, hi, Hunter Gordo. Yeah, that does present a bit of a problem, huh? Would you believe we have yet another Gordo that is a carnivore? We are gonna need so much meat. It's insane. What is that? 3 different Gordos right now. All of our remaining Gordos are carnivorous. And we certainly don't get the benefit of just crossing them with a different slime type and making the feeding process easier by changing what foods we can actually feed them. Because they are Gordos, they stay the way that they are. So yeah, chickens are gonna be important. We're gonna need a lot of them. me that ore, thank you very much. Now that I'm thinking of it, we have been away from the ranch for a little while too. So we should probably head back there. You know what? We can come back here. We can do some more exploration later on. Because we do have a couple more decent sized chunks of this map to explore. So let's just head back to home base. If we can make the Starlight Strand teleporter and get a return home teleporter also set up, that would also be particularly handy. Just to make getting back and forth there a little bit easier. A little bit faster, mainly. So that's the main thing with the teleporters, is getting from place to place is generally not too challenging once you have some energy upgrades that make traversal cost less energy when you're doing different things. But the teleporters are still valuable in the sense that they cut down on the traversal overall. You just do less traversal. Oh, Stego, buddy. Look at him. Look, he's so adorable. I'll grab it, and I'll make a note that I have the Stego Buddy, which is the favored slime toy of the Saber Slime. Got it. Pop that out. We'll go drop this off in the basement real quick. Hey, when did my recipe unpin? Hey, wait a minute. Wait, when did my recipe unpin? There shouldn't be any reason that it unpinned again. So something is up. Something is up, and I'm never paying quite enough attention to it to see when it happens, but it's not pinned again. And I know I pinned it. I know I did. So there's really no reason that it should be unpinned. Something's up. Something's going on. And I intend to find out what. See, I don't think having the recipes unpin themselves is intended behavior. I can't imagine that that would be the way that it's designed to function. Let's do 24 for each of these. I guess we could do 25. Just split it right down the middle. Hopefully we will have a good number of chickens in the back. Okay, so this is about the same as before. Except this time I'm reversing which ones I have on which side. Okay. Let's clean up these collectors. Should be one trip each. I do want to get these flutter plorts filled back up again. I know I need money for the quantum drone station. I think that's probably a good amount. The flutter plorts, I'll sell the rest of what we've got. Because we do need that money. Get all of this sold here. And it just gave me a bunch more. See, 16, okay. It's a little easier for me to keep track of how many plorts should remain in the collector once I've got my slots filled up. Sometimes if I go by what's currently in my inventory slots, I end up with 1 or 2 plorts that will then end up on the ground. And I have to toss them back in the corral, have it get recollected. It's not a big deal. Alright, I'm thinking once we get this maintenance round done real quick, I'll probably stand up and give myself a little bit of a bio break. Mainly just because today I'm feeling I don't know particularly why, but I'm feeling a little bit of digital eye strain, I think. Or just maybe just general eye strain. So I think it'd be good for me to just take a moment, step away from the computer monitor. And get up and stretch, because I have been here for 2.5 hours already. So I am overdue. I'm overdue for a stand-up break anyway. I am trying to be better about that. It's a little easier to be on top of that when I have the active live timer of the stream to show me exactly how long I've been sitting here for. It's a little harder to keep track of that because I don't have any other mindfulness tools set up to kind of remind me of what time it happens to be. Let's see. How's it going in here? I don't see any eggs yet. No big yolky eggs yet. Should be fine. Thinking maybe toss a handful of these guys in here. Toss in some roosters, see what happens. Maybe a couple more of these. Sometimes that scroll wheel is just a little oversensitive. We'll see if we can't get some self-sustaining going on here for their food supplies. We'll see what happens. Dump these in the refinery. Alright. We almost have enough money for another quantum drone station. I do have the one in my inventory right now. We'll go set that up at the Powderfall Bluffs. Let's check in on the comm station real quick before I go on my bio break. Well, there's there's 3 messages here. I do want to get up and give myself a bit of a away from the screen break just for a few minutes. So I will come back to that. I also want to see how much snow accumulation we've gotten outside, because it's supposed to be 1 to 3 inches, I think, was the forecast for the weekend. So I want to see how it's looking out there. So we will take a short break here, and I will be back in a little bit. Hello, hello. Looks like it's not gonna be too bad for snow this weekend, actually. Seems like most of what we've gotten today has been... It's like a light layering, where it's like it's barely enough to constitute like full ground coverage. But it doesn't look like we should be getting any additional precipitation for the rest of the weekend, so hopefully it won't be too bad. Main thing this weekend is it's gonna be cold, like proper cold. So far we've been, you know, kind of oscillating between somewhere in the mid-20s to maybe like the mid to high 30s for most of our highs this winter so far. This weekend, the highs are in the low to mid 10s. And the low for tonight is supposed to be, the forecast is saying -8. And then tomorrow, I think the low is 1 degree. So this weekend is mainly just cold by the looks of it. So yeah, I think we have a full out winter weather advisory from tonight until... I didn't check super close. It's either tomorrow or Monday, I would think. Yeah, starting tonight, there's going to be a winter advisory just because of how cold. Just because of how cold it is this weekend. Thankfully, I won't need to be out very much to do much of anything, so I won't have to... Hopefully I won't have to deal with so much of that. Let me just lean over and knock on some wood real quick, just in case. Anyway, seems like it's mostly going to be cold. That I can handle. But we've got some messages to read here, so let's see what our friends have to say. Ah, yes, the sentience ray. Thank you, Victor. Very cool. Hola, Abby. I bought you something that might be nice to have out there. But if you already have one, I can't return it, so... the more the merrier, right? Ooh, portable scare slime. That might actually be useful in certain circumstances if I can think of a good way to use it. Because basically what this does is... well, it's pretty self-explanatory. It scares slimes away from its location. So you can use that to keep slimes out of certain areas. I guess that would be handy. I'm trying to think what would be good areas for that. I don't think I've ever used it. But but it could be useful. It could be useful in some way or another. Maybe it's more so useful as something that you can carry with you and then place it down as you need it, rather than having it in a permanent fixed spot. Either way, thank you. Oh, B, glad I was able to catch you. I have some big news to share, and this rock isn't exactly bustling with folks whose ears I can bend. Hobson and I have been thinking a lot about what new adventure is next for us. We've been reading each other's travel journals, trying to find places neither of us have been. But even though we found some, none of them were really calling to us. Maybe things were finally slowing down for us. Then we got to talking and came to realize that what we love more than anything right now is just being here with one another on my ranch. This ranch was one of the first on the far, far range, and we've both learned so much. So we started talking about maybe passing all that on to someone. So Hobson and I have decided to start a family, B. And for the first time in so long as I can remember, I'm scared. Hobson and I are both so independent. We don't know the first thing about being parents, let alone raising a kid on the far, far range. But I love that old coot, and the thought of seeing a little one looking back at me with his eyes makes me smile. I think that alone makes me feel like I'd move a mountain to make this happen. So, I've got some work to do here. So much to get in order. Thanks for hearing me out, B. Sometimes just sharing your fears with someone makes you feel like you're no longer alone with those fears. Take care, B. Dude, I'm gonna cry. Like, straight up. That is gonna make me cry. I almost did just now. Like, oh man. Ooh, give me a moment. I got something in my eye. I caught something in my eye. What'd you catch? Tears. Oh boy. Ooh, something about that really, really got me. I think there's just something so potent about something that's so important to a person with a very constant motion, sort of adventurous lifestyle. Having something that they feel so strongly about, it's worth settling. It's worth settling down to make it happen. I think just that sort of emotional dedication, that it's something you set aside your entire way of life to make it happen. It's very powerful. Hey, got an achievement for crafting 5 quantum drones. Sorry, I need to get myself figured out. Oh, okay. Just recenter myself a little bit here. We need... What do we need? Rock plorts, baddie plorts. I do think the rock plorts would be nice to emphasize here. I want to have some extra slots to hold more items at a single time. That would be very helpful. Okay. Oh yeah, I wanted to check blueprints for the teleporters, right? Let me see, what do we need? We have the blue return home portal, right? Can I see on the map? Yeah, it's the yellow return. Okay, so we have already made the yellow return. Kind of wish it would show me how many I've already crafted. That would be useful to know. Yeah, I need saber plorts, that's what it is. I need hunter plorts for the Starlight Strand portal. Okay. Hey, my recipe. Wait a minute. Do I have one that I want to actually keep on my bar here? I had this one selected. What caused it to unselect? Dude, I can't quite figure out how to replicate this. It keeps happening, but I don't know if there's a common link between them. But something keeps happening that makes it go away. Huh. Interesting. Let's see, I want to head back. Let's head back to the Starlight Strand. We can do some more exploration and resource gathering there. Grab some plorts along the way. How's the energy supply? The one in Starlight Strand is fine. The one in Ember Valley is really the one that's getting hit the hardest here. Grab this. Grab these. Not gonna stick around too much. Just kind of grab what's immediately available. Toss it in the quantum drone station here. And we'll call that good. Just to keep it topped off. Might as well check and see if there's anything in here. Nope. Anything up top. Handful more plorts. Yeah, I got incredibly lucky on my test file. Because, wow, I found multiple golden pots, like right away in this area. And just had 3 diamonds basically straight away. Which is kinda nutty. You know what? I'm gonna keep some of these plorts with me as I go. Because when I do set up the quantum drone, I want to be able to you know what? That's what I could do. I'll wait on that. I'm already on my way to Starlight Strand. I'll just use these to... I'll just use this to top off the one that's already there, since it's right next to where I want to explore anyway. You can just toss these plorts into that drone. Since we'll already be in that general vicinity. Excuse me, pardon me, coming through. Toss the slime science stuff in there, toss the plorts in here. 234%, pretty good. Yeah, it didn't give it a ton of extra overcharge, but it's something. Okay, first stop. Let's go. Oh, I need a flutter plort over here, I think. I seem to recall that being the case. I need a flutterplort up there. So I should maybe go out of my way to do that. Let me go over here. Just kind of explore. Because that's what we are doing today. Some more exploration. So we can keep going up here. Ooh, wow. Another Yoki slime just happened to spawn right in front of me. Pretty nifty. You can also hear this treasure pod. Made itself nice and obvious for me. Now that I'm looking at this, I don't think this whole area, this little side area, I don't remember if that existed in the early access or not. I honestly don't remember. It doesn't feel super familiar. I seem to remember, like past this point in this direction, there wasn't anything to see before. Oh, Ferris wheel. So I have the sneaking suspicion that it may be a newer addition to this area. Grab this ore. And then we head up here. So I seem to remember getting up here was basically I had to work my way up from down here, and there wasn't really another way of getting over here super easily. I was grabbing my screenshots for the treasure pods, that I can keep track of where we found them already. So we're getting to a point where we only have 8 more to find. Yeah, we do need a flutterplort there. Yep. I did seem to remember that being the case, and it indeed is the case. Which means I'm going to have to find a way of getting some. Oh, right. What am I doing? This is not the refinery link. You guys are very much in the way here. Toss that in there. I'm gonna reslot the Yoki slime so it's not in a weird isolated inventory slot. Let's go see if I can find any flutter slimes. And maybe be able to feed them too, ideally. Okay, let's go this way. We do have one piece of moondew nectar, that's all I need. I just need the one flutterplort. All I need is just to find a flutter slime. That's all I need here. And there's one right now. I need you to eat that though. Thank you. Nice. Perfect. Now we can head back. That's all I needed to do. Very very happy there was a Moondew Nectar to just pick up right there. Awfully convenient. Well, on our way back, how about we check out this cavern entrance? Grab some stuff from in here. Because this is the bulk of the areas I expected to find more treasure pods. There's just a bunch of caves that I have not been into since we started this particular playthrough. So I know that we've got some caves to find some stuff in here. Cave pillar, okay. Oh, more radiant ore. Sure, I'll take that. Very handy. Oh yeah, and these are rock slimes too. I could grab some rock plorts here. I just need 10 of them. I already have most of it. You can get the rest with these veggies. Just toss this their way. There we go. Might as well just grab whatever other ones are getting dropped here. Excuse me. Pardon me. We got 13, that's pretty good. This door must only open from the outside, huh? That is fine. I don't think there's anything else in here for me to do. This is a pretty small cave. So we came in from there. Let's go out this way. Yeah, let's head out this way. Oh, no. Another plort door. This place is really locked up tight. Let's float across here. Let me see, we have explored up here, at least somewhat. Because we came up here to grab the treasure pod that's up on that higher ledge. Let me up, let me up. Oh, just barely. Here, maybe if I stand on this root or something. It'll give me the height I need, yep. Just enough. Yeah, there's the treasure pod that we got before. I don't think there's, well, maybe there is. This isn't technically a standing spot, I guess, for energy recharging purposes. Oh, don't slide off there. Got another pretty nice vantage point from up here. Really see just how long of an area it is. Very stretched out. You can even see the conservatory dome from here. I don't see any other treasure pods in the immediate vicinity. At least none I can spot from up here. been over here. We got that treasure pod. Hold on, there's some more radiant ore here. I want to pick that up. Give me that. Thank you. Let's drop off some refinery resources. Oops, that's not a refinery resource. There we go. That did not go in the plort catcher at all. Now let's head over here real quick. Let me just take a look. I guess this is mainly for getting over to that geyser. We wanted to jetpack across. Seems like what that's meant for. Okay, let's go get this flutter slime plort door opened. There's nowhere for me to stand up there. Go over to this ledge. My energy recharge, and I think we should be able to wrap around to the statue from here. Yeah, that efficiency module made that possible. And this leads back into here. Okay, so that's one door opened. The other one was right there. Okay. So where is that? Behind the waterfall? Yes, it needs an angler plort. Okay. Well, I can definitely make that happen. There's anglers right here. There's just an angler plort sitting on the ground. We can just go pick that up. Deliver it over super quick. Once my energy recharges enough for me to actually fly up there. Are there any other doors in here? I think that was it. Yeah, okay. Yeah, now we've got this area opened up a little bit more. Kind of a helpful little passageway of sorts. Let's see, this leads back out to the tide pool area. Let's reslot this plort here as a little bit more convenient spot. Let's see what's down here. Another treasure pod. And a bunch of angry largos. You guys can go take a swim. Go take a swim, buddy. Let's grab this treasure pod screenshot here. Number 27. Still making pretty good progress on these, I think. Oh, another tank liner, okay. Handy, I suppose. Grab some radiant ore while I'm here. Can always use more of that. Let's see what else we've got going on around here. Nothing there. Here's a treasure pod. And I think there's probably one on that outcropping. If I had to guess. See what's in this one. Veggie slime bait. Okay. Alright, alright. So we'll just plop down here and then we'll head over to this outcropping here. See what we can find. There's gotta be a treasure pot out here, right? No. Just this guy. Oh, what a silly little dude. The silliest of dudes. Well, I guess we got some sand. And a ringtail slime spawn, I guess. It's funny that the moment he spawns, he turns to stone because it's still daylight. Okay, back to the main thoroughfare here. I'm curious. Oh, that's the water area. Never mind. Oh yeah, this is the way. This is one of the ways into that in-between tunnel. Not gonna worry about that. Let me regain my high ground here, so I can look around while I'm hovering over. Well, that didn't go exactly as I planned, but it did work out, I guess. Let's see. I'm gonna head down here, I think. Oh, interesting. Kind of a weird little path here. I think this was also a new addition. I don't know. Was this new? I think it was new. I think this was something that got added in later into the early access. This upper area. I don't seem to remember that being something I was very aware of. There's so many angler plorts around here. I want to pick them up. Because I can use them. I don't remember exactly what I need them for, but I can use them. Where'd my recipe go? I had a recipe. I had it pinned. Where did it go? Where is my recipe? Why is it unpinned again? What is happening? I'm gonna have to look back at the archive and see what the heck is going on. Because there is something happening. And it's not supposed to be happening, but it is happening. And I don't know what's causing it. I need to figure out what's causing it because it's bothering me so much to not know. Grab a bunch of angler plorts. There's a lot of them out here. We get high ground again. Kind of been down in the middle of everything for a little bit. Grab some angler plorts and then move on. I think continuing onward toward the other end of the tide pool is probably the way to go. Let's try to avoid these angry boyos. I'm just gonna chill out up here. I want to make sure I have enough energy to get back without having problems. Get some ore. Can't quite reach that ore from up here. I'll grab it in a moment. Don't see anything over here. Oh, there's one. I see a treasure pod over there. I see you, sneaky little devil. Just wanted to check around the back here and make sure I wasn't overlooking something obvious. Let's go grab this treasure pod here. So here's another one. And that leaves us with 4 more to find. And I'm pretty sure there's at least one more cave somewhere, I think, that I haven't been into. At least one more. Oh yeah, there definitely is. Now that I'm thinking about it, there's definitely a couple of areas left I could check. Alright, this is way too many. Too many tar. Get out of here. Get out of here, tar slimes. Get them out of here. Let's take a look around here, see if there's anything else that I may have overlooked in the brief time I was over here. Grab some ore. Can always use more of that. We grabbed the one down there. Come up here. Maybe check around this side. See if there's anything over here. I can't quite get up there. I don't think there's anything on this side. Nah, doesn't look like it. I've learned my lesson. I do not want to overextend on my hover time, lest I make an irreversible mistake. That ends with me in the sea. Like, you can get pretty high up in some spots here. There is a lot of the time where it's the case that it's just you're capable of climbing up here, but there's nothing, there's no extrinsic reward for being up here. It is very much a I climbed the mountain because it's there kind of thing. Where there's really no tangible reason to go up there. But it is kind of fun to just reach the summit. Now, I've been over that way, I believe. I mean, I could just look at the map that I have. It doesn't have all the markings from today, but it does have the markings from every previous stream. I can just take a quick look at it. See where I'm at. Oh, actually. Huh. I wonder, did I don't... If a map is correct, I don't think I've been over to the Dolphin Island area. Well, if that's the case, then sure, let's go double check. Because if I have, then I wonder what the heck it's not on my map for. Because I'm sure there's treasure pods over here. At least one. But I'm not seeing the marking on my personal map, so something's up. Yeah, I just straight up have not been over here, huh? I could have sworn that I had. Maybe I was just very, very briefly passing through the area and didn't actually pay close attention to actually looking for treasure pods or something. But that's why I have the map with the markings, to find stuff like that too. Just to absolutely confirm whether or not I have found anything in certain areas. So I think there's one more on this farther island here. That's really sketchy. Oh, I don't like that. I do not like how close that was. That was honestly nerve-wracking. I did feel... I felt the adrenaline spiking as we ran out of energy there. It's just like, oh, have I made an error? Oh, I made it. Yeah, there's a bunch of mossy hen statues out here. So, you know, that's fun. It's a very chicken-centric location. I think I even see an angler plort or two down there, which I can grab for myself. And another treasure pod. That only leaves two more. And I know there's at least one location that I haven't, I specifically know I have not checked. So I think we're either going to completely finish off treasure pods here or only be missing one more. So let's grab this one. Ooh, golden tangle statue. Nice. Okay. I think the height is not as valuable as being as far toward this direction as I can be. Yeah, okay. That was definitely a lot more comfortable. That didn't sketch me out nearly as much. See, I think now we're good over here. I think the dolphin-shaped aisle and the chicken aisle are now So before we head back to the ranch, because we've been away for a little while, we do have at least one more spot I want to check. So let me go deposit these. Let me go deposit these angler plorts and the ore. That slime made me nervous. I thought he was gonna gobble up one of my angler plorts. Just toss those in here to kind of keep them fueled up a little bit. So this back area, I have not really explored properly. I've just kind of passed through here. So it would be worth me just taking a bit of a closer look around. See if there's anything in the vicinity. I'm not noticing anything immediate. So far, so good. This is now back up top. I'm not particularly concerned with that. What I want to do is drop down here. Can't remember if we've been here already or not. We have, okay. Right, this leads out here. Okay. The lower part. Have I been to the lower part of this area? Ooh, nice. Another diamond. Well, heck yeah, I'll take that. I'd be crazy not to. Okay, this leads to here. Well, dang, I thought that was the place I thought I hadn't already been. But I guess I have. And then this is where the Hunter Gordo is. We've already been in the other side there, so... There's only one other spot I can think of that might have something we haven't explored. So let me go scope that out real quick. I think in the same area that the Flutter Gordo was in, I think there's another... possibly another one of those cavern areas that I have not been to yet. That should be this way. I feel like there's something else I haven't been down into in terms of areas. So I want to check and make sure I'm not missing something like that. Because the Flutter Slime one is there. And that's the entrance to it there as well. I feel like there was maybe something over here a bit more to the right, but I could be mistaken. Yeah, I think I might be misremembering. I'm thinking what I must be thinking of is probably the shortcut that I opened from inside of the Flutter Gordo area. And that shortcut is the alternate entrance that I'm thinking of. That might be it. Ooh, what's that? Hey, there's one. I think that just leaves us with one more that we don't know the location of. But I'd say that that pretty well settles our treasure pod track down. Because aside from the one that we're missing in the conservatory because it's on one of the expansions that I haven't purchased yet, I think that just leaves us with 2 treasure pods in total that we have not found for the areas that we currently have access to. Oh, let me up. Oh, that was sketchy too. Good thing that little lip of a ledge was there. Otherwise, that would have ended very poorly. Explore around here just a tiny bit more. I seem to remember this being an area where there was overlapping treasure pod markings. But I don't know if that's because of the way I was marking them in the early access was different. And so their marking area was a little wider. Just don't know. Because there's one in here that we got. I seem to recall there being another one nearby that caused some sort of map marking overlap. But like I said, I don't remember if that would have been because of the way I was marking the treasure pod locations before. Or if there is another treasure pod nearby that I'm not remembering the location of right off the bat. I don't see anything else around that seems particularly suspicious. I'm trying to like listen to if there's any auditory cues for something. No, I don't see anything. I think I'm misremembering. Or I'm working with incomplete recollection of information. There's a gap somewhere in the process that's causing an issue. I think that's a pretty good amount of exploration work that we've done. We're literally missing... Oh, we're missing 2 in Powderfall Bluffs. God, okay, there's 2 in Powderfall, 1 in Starlight Strand, and 1 in the Conservatory, but that one's basically a gimme. Because it's just on the other expansion that we have not purchased. The one that leads north on the map instead of east or south. See, I don't think there's anything else that I want to do here. Since there's only one treasure pod left, I'm not going to try and scour the entire area to find it. I want to, at minimum, have my map markings in place before I do any of that. So we will leave it at that. Or basically just any exploration. I think we're basically done exploring. At least for the areas that we have access to. Starlight Strand is pretty well set. Ember Valley is complete in terms of treasure pods. Rainbow Fields is done. Conservatory is self-explanatory. Powderfall Bluffs only has a couple. So yeah, I think we're pretty much good on treasure pod hunting at this point. I mean, it only took, what, 4 parts? 5 parts? I don't remember what part we're on right now. I can look real quick at what part we're on here. Because I don't remember. Let me go over here. Yeah, this is part 5 we're on right now, so it's been 5 parts and we're just now almost done with treasure pods. So let me just grab all this stuff for the refinery. Get it all in there. That's not nearly fast enough. There really needs to be... Is there not a way for me to just tell it to do all of them? There's gotta be a faster way. There has to be. The Moondew Nectar. Just withdraw both of them. We don't need them. We really don't need them. Because I can do this. I can do alternating, but I don't think it's as efficient as just holding the button down. It's faster at first, but not in the long run. So yeah, just toss those out. Leave it to its own devices there. We gotta do some maintenance at the ranch. And then I think we'll probably call it there. Because by the time I get that done, it'll be just around 4. And it's looking like dinner is going to be pretty prompt tonight compared to the usual timing setup. So I'm thinking I probably want to have a little bit of leeway to prepare for that. So I'll be pretty prompt about wrapping up today. I'm not gonna let myself do a bunch of rambling at the end like I usually do. Where did my recipe go? It's gone again! It's gone again! Gone again! Where did it go? Where's my extra tank? Where's my recipe? It just keeps disappearing. I wonder if it's related to the treasure pods or something, because that's when I get the most distracted. That is arguably when I have the least awareness of the recipe pinning. That's so bizarre. I wonder if that is what's going on. Let me toss all the plorts in the market here, because I need the money. We can get ourselves the extra tank. I want to do that right now, actually. Give me that extra tank. Please and thank you. I need more rock plorts and ringtail plorts. Okay, okay. At that time, I don't blame it for disappearing from my pinned blueprints, because I did finish it. I did finish crafting that specific recipe. That might get a pass. I'm not so sure about just random leave while I'm doing stuff out in the open world, just having it vanish. That seems a little more suspect to me. Oh, we got a message at the comm station. Hold on. Let's do 15 for each of these. 15 for you, and then we'll do 10 each for these. Just so we can get some amount going, so that the auto feeders can continue to function. I'll hash out the specifics once I get some more supply. We're 35, let's see, so we do 5 there and 5 there, we'll bring it back to even. And then 6 for you. 6 for you. 6 for you, and then you get the spare. You get that one remainder extra. Oh boy. Lots to keep track of. This is why I resisted the urge to expand the ranch to be more varied in its slime types. That's probably something we can start doing next time. Because as it stands right now, we've finally got basically all the treasure pods taken care of. As far as everything outside of the labyrinth. The labyrinth is gonna be its own beast. So I'm not too worried about that right now. We'll get to that when we get to that. So I'm trying to think, yeah, we could expand the ranch a little bit if I wanted to. Even if just doing some temporary measures to get some more of these specific plorts. I do want to get more. I want to figure out my portal setup, my teleporters. I want to put some effort into getting the teleporters specifically, so I can get a travel network properly in place. Because right now I'm still running back and forth basically everywhere I need to go. It'd be nice to have the teleporter network set up so I don't have to do as much running back and forth. So I think that would probably be the next thing I want to specifically work on. Is just getting the resources for all the different teleporters. I do want to get the extra tank too, though. Being able to have 6 inventory slots instead of 4. I think that would be a very beneficial boon. Although just getting some general slot capacity expansion would also be very nice. Hey, check it out. Here is our first giant egg. So you smash it on the ground, you get yourself some Yoki plorts, and you also get more you get more chicks of the same type as the hen that's in the coop that the Yoki slime is cohabitating with. Very nice. They ate all the roosters. Yeah, I think I'm gonna need way bigger numbers. I'm gonna need way bigger numbers of chickens before I can really have this self-sustain in the way that I did back in early access. Toss the elder hens in there, toss an elder rooster in there, just whatever food. They can extract some sustenance from that. Here, you know what? I'm gonna do something. I'm gonna do something else with this Yoki slime. Let me just get these plorts stashed away. And then what I'm gonna do is set up a second coop. Because we've got a few Gordos that are carnivorous, so I think we're gonna need to up our chicken production here. Yeah, let's do this one. Do this slot here. Let's get all the upgrades. So we've got a nice, fully fleshed out coop here. And we'll put the other Yoki slime in here so that we don't overcrowd a single coop with multiple Yoki slimes. Over here we could even probably spare a handful more of these, just to really give an extra boost to the start of this. Kind of spread them out a little bit. Okay. Because we're gonna need a lot of chickens to deal with the Gordo slimes that are out in the world right now still. So we might as well just expand to having 2 coops, both doing some repopulation work. That'll be high priority right now. 2, 3. You get the 4, and then the other ones get 3. I already have to do another round of cleanup because they've had a feeding. Yeah, setting up that coop took most of the money I had on hand at that moment. Let's replenish some of that. We'll take one final look at Pronto Mart and see if they've got a new slime toy there or not. Should be able to afford whatever it is. Let's take a look. Big Rock. We do not have that one yet, so I will get it. Thankfully, it's one of the cheaper ones. Let me just write it down real quick. Big Rock. This one is for rock slime. Makes sense. Cool, cool. We'll take that. I'm not gonna worry about getting the boom box right now. I don't remember if I've tried that gadget before. But I'm gonna try not to be too frivolous with my usage of money. The only reason I'm going out of my way to buy the slime toys is just because that's gonna be a whole process that is somewhat, as far as I know, is it's dependent on whatever restocking RNG might exist within Pronto Mart. Whether or not there's a consistent cycle that it follows or not, I have no idea. So my best guess is that it is random. That it picks, it picks a certain number of each type of item to throw in there, so it's pretty much always going to have a slime toy of some type. But the more of them I have, the fewer new ones, though the less likely it is I'm going to come across new ones because I'll already have the other ones. This is one of those things where it's like the more of them that I collect, the fewer of them exist that are going to be new to me. So since that's going to be a long-term process, I feel like it's worth going out of my way to acquire stuff as I go. Short of that, though, I'm not really going out to get too much else. That's another reason I don't want to expand the ranch too much right now, is because setting everything up is going to cost even more money. Let's real quick talk to Bob. Special delivery. Have a great chickens. More rocks. Thank you, buddy. Pretty good stuff. I think one thing I could justify spending some money on would be this other conservatory expansion over here. Just because we are only missing one treasure pod from the conservatory and it's in that direction. So maybe what we do next time is we just do some maintenance rounds. Well, I need to go out and get plorts from specific types. I'm trying to think what to do. I'll figure it out. I will figure out what I want to do next time. Because I don't really think it does a whole lot of good for me to attempt to brainstorm this at this exact moment. I'll need to kind of weigh out the pros and cons of what we could do from here that would be beneficial for different reasons. Because I do want to get some more upgrades and stuff like that. But it's like, I could go so many different ways. I want to get teleporters. Upgrades are nice. I could expand the ranch. Get that conservatory expansion so that we can get to that treasure pod. See what's in it, because I don't remember what any of them have. You see where it starts to get very much like I could go any direction with this. So I need to just take some time, sit down, look everything over, look over my options, and just sort of see what feels like the right direction to go in. I still don't want to do off-stream farming or anything like that, because I think the only thing I would really do that with is probably money, just because everything else we can take care of over time passively with the drones. That's probably what we should start with next time, is just setting up the drones that we do have and start getting some resources figured out in that aspect. Actually, you know what? Yeah, well, that's what we'll do with the next stream. We'll start off by doing some work with the drones. Because I'm also curious about their ranching mode. Because we've only ever used them in exploration mode out on the field. We have not used any of them at the conservatory. So I am curious how that mode works too. And now that we have some Yoki slimes, I have a pretty good reason to try and use the drones here, because I want to automate the process of getting Yoki plorts if I can. because those are something that you can't really... In early access, there was just no way to automate it, so I'm curious if the drones provide a solution to that. And whatever drones I don't use on the ranch, I want to reconfigure our drone setup to start maybe doing that strategy where I have a bunch of them all gathering one resource at once, and we just try to max it out. And we just move from resource to resource and just over time start maxing them out one at a time. Because I think that that seems like a very simple and effective way of handling things. Just kind of blitz through one resource at a time and just get a ton of it, and then just keep moving the fleet between resources and just keep doing that while I'm doing everything else that I'm doing in the game. Because I think we're at a point now where we're probably not going to find too many... We're not going to find enough ghostly drones for me to need to be constantly gathering specifically the drone station resources. I think we're pretty good on those, so I don't think we'll have to worry about that. So next time, since I am noticing the time and I do want to actually wrap up on time, I gave myself a little bit of rambling time, it turns out, so cool. Totally did that on purpose. Definitely not a happy accident. Yeah, so next time we will take a look at our drone setup, I think. We'll see what we can do with them on the ranch, specifically with the Yoki slimes is my main interest right now. And to reevaluate what resource we want to have them gathering out in the field in their exploration mode. But that will be for next time. So thank you all for being here and hanging out. I'm looking forward to doing something other than finding treasure pods. Because we've been doing a lot of that up front. I just wanted to get it done, get it out of the way. And we've done a pretty clean sweep. We're only missing a handful. But we'll tackle those another time. So thank you all for being here and hanging out. And just know that somebody cares about you because I care about you. And until the next stream, take care, everyone.